Hello, everyone, and welcome to Plate Stack Chat. We might be a few minutes late. We'll probably address that on the show. Who knows? My name is Jason, and on this show, I like to bring on some wonderful guests for a chat. And recently, some of the most wonderful guests just so happened to be on Grid League teams, and that is the case again today. So today we have not wild women, but women of the Atlanta Wild, although I can't guarantee that they are not a little wild themselves. So please welcome my brilliant guests. First up, we have the 2023 Utility Player of the Year. So if you've been listening to previous shows, you'll know what that means. And she doesn't just excel in grid, but also has been to semi-finals in 21 and 2022 on a team and 2023 as an individual. Please welcome Amanda Fischer.
Hello.
Hello. We'll get into that Utility Player of the Year.
Awesome.
I'm intrigued. But of course, she's not alone. So we're going to welcome our next guest, who's someone that started CrossFit at 17 to get lean, but then realized that she actually wanted to get strong, and she did just that. So apart from competing in CrossFit and Grid League, you will also see her on the bodybuilding stage. But for now, you can see her right here. It is the wonderful Sidney Wilson.
Hello.
Hello, Sidney.
What's up, girl?
Welcome. And you recently also mentioned you had kind of like a mini documentary drop on the Grid League channel. So,
oh God.
a lot of the questions I may have had for you have been answered, but anyway, that's fine. That's fine. And just because they're the Wilds, we've got a third guest as well today. So our third member is not just an incredible athlete, but also a wonderful coach. In fact, holding that rare CrossFit Level 3 certificate. So be careful before you start to criticize her movement standards. Please welcome Vilma Rosario.
Hi, everybody.
Good. Okay, all the researchy bits I've done are out now. I can relax. That's the hardest bit is the intro.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Hello.
Ruby. Hi, lady. What about me? You could say hi to me as well. Be nice.
Rude.
Yeah, unbelievable. Ruby. Welcome. So we're a little bit late. Who do you want to throw under the bus? Amanda, because you were here before me, actually.
I say it definitely wasn't me. I don't know. I think they're both to blame. It sounds like they were on the phone with each other.
Well, I called her to let her know. I was like, hey, I just finished working out. Can you please let me know I'm going to be late? And I was like, hold on. Are you in a car?
Well, I had a
call like 45 minutes ago, and I was like, see you in an hour. And you're like, oh, crap. Yeah.
So I had to coach, and then I was like, I got to work out. So
yeah,
I ran today.
Oh my God.
Proud of you.
I ran. I know. I enjoyed it too.
Today. Are you ready for that?
What?
I'm rope climbing today.
I feel like there's elements that are missing for the general public to be like, okay, she ran. That's interesting.
So I don't
She's rope climbing. Okay.
If you ever see me running, you should probably also start running. I'm probably running away from something. And it's crazy because like people will look at my legs and go, oh, do you sprint? And I'm like, I do not sprint. No, I don't run.
Oh, okay. Only when you have to like finish on the grid very quickly at the end.
I say, or she runs on the grid floor, kind of.
It's like a little trot.
And what about the rope climbs? Why is that notable?
Because the last two matches, I love rope climbs, but like we went through a transition at our gym where there were no ropes for about 6 weeks, and I just am out of condition with them. So I promised Sydney that I would not go back and tag her in this time on rope climbs if I am doing them. And so I've been working on them now that we have everything set up. So.
Right. Okay.
I just have like this mental block that like once I reach a certain weight that like I can't do certain things. So like I feel really good with gymnastics around like 145, but I'm like 165 right now. So like when they tagged me in for the legless rope climbs, I was like, ah! And like each one was like my hand on top of one another, like trying to hang on for dear life.
But she did it. Like
yeah, but you did it. You did 2 of them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think they have more confidence in you than you have in yourself.
Accurate.
Yeah. I think they think you couldn't just do the legless rope climb, just you if you're a bit heavier, but they reckon they could probably just jump on your back and you could pull them up too, because that's how strong you are.
Bro, Sydney's as strong as I am, if not stronger, and I weigh 20 pounds more than you, so she has no excuse.
I'm a strength specialist. I'm not even utility.
What you
Is
should
that
be.
true? Are you? I feel like you are utility. We've had this discussion.
I feel
signed as
like
a
you
strength
have the
specialist.
Instagram profile of someone that is a utility player, because I've seen you flying up on the rig. I've seen you doing, all the gymnastics movements that I don't generally expect to see a strength specialist doing. To be fair, I've also seen you like doing some like stuff with dumbbells that I'm like, yeah, she's absolutely a strength specialist, because that's insane. But
She's just trying to get strength specialist of the year by doing all the utility moves as well. She's trying to get a higher impact score,
I don't
Is
know,
that
man.
how
If
it
it didn't
works?
happen, I don't know. If it didn't happen last year, it won't happen this year. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if the snatch ringer ever comes back in the championship or the finals, I'd love to
At
see
Vita,
out.
at Vita, at Taylor, where y'all at?
They just don't want the smoke. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe for championships, it'll be good.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of back and forth. And by the way, hello, Sarah Cooper. Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
What time is it, by the way? Wait, I mean, I should know because we booked it in, but what's the time?
10:45.
10:45. Okay. Wow. You've got a lot of energy for the morning, and considering you've coached and worked out. What time did you start?
Are you talking to me?
Well, all of you. I mean,
I coached at
Vilma was
7:30 this
driving.
morning.
I
Yeah.
coached at 6 this morning.
5:30, boys.
Ooh, you got me today.
That's me on Wednesdays.
That's me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday, no thanks.
I don't think I would be celebrating coaching at 5:30. I would just be.
So it was funny because like I texted all of them. Our class workout today was 30 minutes. It was CAPS programming, 30 minutes of a plate carry. And I walk in and my two members are just sitting there looking at me. I'm like, let's go. Yay.
Well, she texted me this morning as I was, I think, on my way to work. And I was like, how is she up this early? I forget that you do coach mornings. Normally we have our phone call around this time.
Yeah.
How often are these phone calls?
That's a good question,
From
Sydney.
Sydney.
So
Daily?
I forced my
Multiple
friends.
times a
So
day.
first of all, here goes my phone screen. If anyone's ever seen Heat, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. Let's see. How many times a day do I call Vilma? One, two. Hold on. There's a lot of phone calls. I call lots of people all the time. 3, 4. That's just yesterday. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That sounds about right.
11. So
Answer.
11 times just between today and yesterday. I
don't
talked
always
to Vilma.
answer, but she does call quite a bit. And then like when I leave work at the end of the day, I usually will call my fiance first, and then he's like hooked on Dexter. So like he's like, okay, good, you're coming home, whatever. And then I call Sydney. So it's like every day, like clockwork. We talk to each other.
I feel like Sydney is trying to usurp that position. Be like, I should be the first one you call, and then you can call your fiance.
She is trying really. She's taking me to Creed in a week, so there's that.
So let's go there.
Arms wide open.
Yeah, I've been trying to understand his mumbling for this concert coming up. So that's next Saturday. Actually, she's coming to teach a seminar at my gym, and then, well, no, the concert's first, and then the seminar. So it's going to be really fun.
Oh, the concert's first. Oh, wow. Okay.
We'll be fine.
Yeah. Will she be mumbling the instructions during the coaching?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I like to enunciate and yell when I need to.
When you need to. Oh,
Yeah.
very good. Amanda, are you getting these phone calls? I'm feeling like, are you left out
I
at this
feel
point?
left out now.
I
No.
don't call, hold on. No, I don't call Amanda because I love FaceTime. And this person is always in her car. She's always in her car. And so when I call her, it's on AirPlay. So it's like this random like screen. I'm just talking to myself, looking at myself. I'm like, I'm not calling Amanda.
She said she happens to call like every time I'm driving either to or from the gym, and she gets so mad. Like she did call we have in Atlanta. Can we cuss on this? Or do you prefer not?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you. I can't stop you.
Okay.
I physically can't stop you.
I won't say anything too bad, but our group chat is called the Bitches of the Wild. So it's all the women from the team, and she'll Instagram chat that group every once in a while. And she did that this morning, and I was driving. I was like, don't hate me.
Well, it's my chat. Hold on. First of all, I made the chat. I made
She
the name.
did. She did
And
create
then
the chat.
our picture, gosh.
Oh
it's not
no, I
letting me-
was like, please don't bring this up.
So our screen thing is of Hulk shitting on like the general population because that's how I feel like we do on the grid.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
No, legit. And this is like we have 2 group chats for the team.
We've got a clip to share now, everyone. So
So we have like the group chat with like the guys in it, and that's like our team chat. And that one, like sometimes it'll pop off because we are actually like really close. A lot of the other teams, like they'd be fighting with each other. Like it's really nice to be on a team where
We'll fight you in my Griffin voice. Let's
Yeah.
kill them.
diamond. But the girls chat, like I'll be coaching and I'll look and I have like 40 notifications. And then
That
there's
thing pops off a lot.
there's the dilly this chat and then the new group that I'm just like, there's so many of them that
Hey,
I'm
Vilma.
what? I'm not gonna say. But we have a lot of group chats and it's nice because we all stay in touch all the time. And it's not just like what I was getting at is it's not just our team, like we are friends with other people on other teams. And it's nice to have that cohesiveness together outside of just our team and our group, but also we have friends on other teams because a lot of us are transfers. Like I'm from the Breakers and then Sydney played on the Brigade last year.
Yeah.
So we still try to keep in touch with our former teammates, and so it's a good time.
Oh, hi, Dylan. Dilly.
Hi.
Dylan is of the Venom, who you guys will remember we demolished.
Also, Dylan, what about me? Am I not? That's fine. All right, go ahead, Sydney. Sorry.
I think she's finished. She just said that you demolished the
She's just
so-
saying we demolished the Venom. That was it.
Yeah.
Period.
Shout out to Paul.
Yeah, but okay. Oh, I mean, I've got questions, but I will ask them after. I'll wait till we're not live. I've got some questions. But Amanda, you are not transferring in for another team this year. You were on the Wilds last year.
Yes.
In green.
In green.
But now
Yep.
you know, you've moved to red, and I think Sydney was saying a thing in that video, the YouTube video that went up for Grid about the red uniform, like that you love red, and like it was so good. And I suddenly thought, oh, is that why they changed the color? Like I'd heard it was all because of Atlanta and this and that, and then I was like, but is it? You know, because also Vilma, both of you were in blue last year, Sydney and Vilma. You're both in blue. Now you're both in red.
As Joe, the announcer, said when we competed, the battle of the blue bees.
Oh my god. That's so funny. Because you're both the Breakers and the Brigade.
The battle of the blue bees. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh gosh. Well,
That's what's important, that you can enunciate as well, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, so because I was there for the transition from Gainesville to Atlanta, and we really did change the color because Atlanta and like all of the major teams here in Atlanta are black and red or blue and red. Red's actually my least favorite color on the face of the planet. So I was like, Dan, our coach, I was like, can we please not do red? So I actually don't like red, but I will say it does look pretty fire out on the grid. But it was not my first choice. I was like, can we get gray uniforms with just some red accent? Like, why red jerseys? Because I also have like purple and blue hair, and that I feel like just clashes with red, man. But anyway. So no,
So
it really
you're
was
not
going
to come out with like full red hair in Vegas then.
Ugh, no.
I think we should. I think we should get like red clip-ins.
It's
We
just
should.
TBD, Jason.
And we weren't allowed to do black jerseys because there's already 2 teams with black jerseys or something like
Who's
that.
the other team with black jerseys?
No, I think
Oh,
it's only the
the-
Lions.
Or
What?
the
No.
Aces
Oh,
on
the
there,
Aces
kind of.
are
Oh,
like
and the
black though.
Aces.
I like
Don't
the
worry,
red.
it's good that I'm here from England to fill you in on the uniforms and jerseys of the Gridley. That makes
But
sense.
no, red. It does look pretty good on the league, on the floor, but it wasn't.
Hi,
it definitely wasn't my
Artur.
first choice.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Artur.
Speaking of, he's not even on the lines. He's on the palms.
He's
Yes.
on the phone.
Yeah. Hey, he's here for support. Hey, buddy, look at that. We have
And
someone
he's lives in Atlanta, so who knows? Maybe he won't be on the Palms for long.
Wow.
someone from the
Oh,
Venom and somebody from the Palms. Like I said, we all try to stay friendly as much as we can with each other. It's kind of nice.
Sydney, who's-
Oh my God. Bye, Joe. Joe is a master's athlete. Keep on the look for him at the games next year. He's turning 55 this year. Joe, get Joe back here, please. I'm gonna show them his biceps. So me and Joe are built kind of like we both have like huge arms. Joe, come here, show them your biceps. He's so ripped, dude. One day he like walked outside, came back in, had a shirt off. I was like, Joe, I didn't know you were like that. Hold on. Joe, come show them your biceps. Hold on.
I
Show
like
them your
that you can
biceps.
just summon people. That's pretty impressive.
Show them your biceps. Move,
Oh,
move.
shit.
Hold on. Do you see it? Move the arm. Move the shirt. Do you see it?
Oh my
Flex, 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 flex.
Oh, right.
Nice.
All right, we'll see you at the games next year.
Ooh. All right. Sorry.
Okay. Anybody
Hi,
else
guys.
want to do a gun show quickly before we move on, or you're all okay?
Speaking of gun show.
Don't tempt me.
Bye.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Sydney.
I told you
So
we were unhinged.
we almost had an infraction when we all met as a team. I left. I thought I left them all in an area. I was walking back to my car. I was on the phone with another person that plays grid on another team. And I was like, I hear voices behind me. And I turned around and never mind. It's fine. I'm not going to finish this on YouTube. I can't. Never mind.
Let's just say he
Okay.
carries heat, and she thought we might have been like stranger danger. We'll keep it.
All
simple.
right. Okay.
So nothing scary, crazy, but definitely don't want to sneak up on Sydney.
Don't sneak up on Sydney.
Do not sneak up on Sydney.
That's all you got to know from this story.
No.
Don't sneak
Yeah.
up
I don't think I would have been brave enough to sneak up on Sydney anyway, to be honest with you. But
on.
but thank you for the warning. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's more of a warning for people like Arthur, just to make sure that he knows,
Yeah.
especially in Vegas, it's a big place, it's busy, it's going to be chaotic. So, oh, okay. Speaking of, you guys are excited about that? That's, I mean, a pretty big stage for you.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to compete, but also we have like plans to go do karaoke and have like a really good time together as a group. So I'm excited for that. Obviously, competing is our primary objective out there, but we also like to hang out with each other. I'm in Florida, they're in Atlanta, but when we do it together, we have a good time. Amanda took us line dancing last time, and that was a blast. So it's going to be fun for many reasons.
Except people barely line dance with me.
I was uncomfortable.
You guys were out there for like one song.
I played darts.
Whatever.
I
dude.
was out there. I just wore the wrong footwear.
Oh. Really?
I was wearing tennis shoes, so I don't know.
I don't have rhythm.
like this high, dude.
You don't have rhythm.
No, I can't dance. So no. No to the line dancing. Oh, and it's also like
Did you do the wobble with us? Everybody.
I don't know how to do the wobble either. I don't know how to dance. So the problem is that the lights are on. Okay. People know what they're doing. So Amanda's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. She fit right in. It was fine.
Yes, she did. She knew what
did.
she was doing.
And then they're like, Sydney, come on and
I
do
have
it. I'm like,
rhythm.
I'm not
I was going to
going
say
off
natural
it.
rhythm. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
We were like,
And that's
I
why you
didn't
get
know
the
what I was
utility player
doing. I had-
2023. It's that natural
Yeah,
rhythm that comes
seriously.
out from the grid. Yeah.
I had to learn each one throughout the song, and I picked up on it really quickly. I like to dance.
That would be a great ringer point. Like if they just like made you
Salon
guys do a
dance.
dance in the middle. Although we've talked about doing a choreographed dance, but we
yeah.
haven't.
I
done-
wanted to start the season off as soon as like we get done with like the Pledge Allegiance. Do we even say the Pledge Allegiance? We don't even say the Star Spangled
The
Banner,
national anthem.
the national anthem, and then Mather reads the judge's oath. After that, I wanted to like stay on the floor, and then us like randomly like everybody, and like we all just start, or like some like type of like what is it called that they do in like Australia? The
Flash mob.
the what?
I don't know.
No, the
Are
thing that
you
they do-
thinking? Are you thinking New Zealand, the haka dance?
Yeah, but they have
Yeah.
some in Australia too,
Oh,
right?
the haka.
Yeah, the haka. We could like come out for the haka, and everybody's like, "What the heck is that?"
Well, we can't do the haka, but we could do a flash mob dance for sure.
That'd be fun. Vegas. You guys should watch. I think they are still live streaming everything from
Yeah.
Vegas.
Oh,
Right,
oh,
Ruby? She's
Yeah.
still there.
Ruby, is that happening? Are we getting a live? It better be happening. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
great.
would be
Sure.
shocked if there wasn't.
Yeah.
Our tour, you're like 6'7", brother. We get it. You can climb ropes.
Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't-
saying he'll give you some of his
Not
rope
once.
climb. You give him some of his strength.
Yeah.
So share
Arthur
it
and
all.
I, we both want to learn to backflip at the end of the season. That's the plan. I just am fascinated with the idea of seeing somebody that's 6'5" do a backflip. So
He could learn it pretty fast, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yeah.
yes to the live stream. Me and Jason will be in the chat. Excellent.
Perfect.
Wonderful. So the live stream this year, I don't know if you go back and watch it at all, or if you sort of
We
checked
do.
out, but it is it's really upgraded from
Awesome.
previous
The
seasons.
split
So
screen
good.
is
Oh my
really
god,
cool.
I love that so much.
Yes.
Like being able to like see like what's going on in real time. I really like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that it doesn't do the thing that would annoy you the most whenever you watch like a CrossFit event being live streamed. That was, we're pretty sure we know who's going to win, so we'll just
Yeah.
focus the camera on them, and then
Yeah.
two people sneak past on like the far side of the
Mhm.
field and you miss it. So now, there are times when you really think you know who's got a race wrapped up. You're like, oh yeah, who did you beat today?
The Venom are about to win
The Venom.
this part.
Okay,
Miss
the
Forward.
Venom are about to win this, and then they mess up a tag or something, and someone's got to go all the way back, and suddenly you guys get ahead, and it's like,
I really like too is that you can see when someone like, for instance, I tell Cardona this all the time. I like seeing him and like Paula compete because they remind me of like the twins from the Matrix. Like their faces are just like, and they just go out and like kill it. So I always love like when they're competing against another team and like they just come out randomly and like just catch up and then like destroy. So I like that split screen to where you can see someone like working hard and then it's just like, bye.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice too as a competitor, like you can go back and watch. Like I know we've talked about it, the three of us going back and watching our matches and our competitors' matches and being able to see both sides of the field. So that makes it really fun. Oh gosh.
There goes Danimal.
Yeah. Hi, Dan.
Danimal has entered
calling
the
out
chat.
the calling out the announcers for getting the names wrong. David
well, no, he said
is
almost all of the names I said correctly, so almost. That's pretty good.
I was Sydney Witter for like half the season last year.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Pat-
did get that. Sydney Wilson, Sydney Witter. I get
Pat
Yeah.
Pat was Corey a lot last
it.
year.
Yeah.
But yeah, David McKellar is one of our strength specialists, so it's even funnier that whenever Tristan is out on the floor, they say it's McKellar, and it's just funny because they're completely different athletes.
Totally opposite.
And
I mean,
people.
Yeah.
Like David.
All right. Sorry, go, City.
No, you're fine.
No, I was just gonna say it's really tough. Like this has been one of the best things about doing these shows is now I really start to know like the different athletes and I will recognize them because before there were some that I knew because I'd spoken to them a fair bit. So like Eric is a great example because I knew Eric anyway, and also it's pretty easy to spot Eric on the field because he's always doing something ridiculous, like it's,
With a straight face.
Yeah, yeah. And as you said, like it's fun to watch somebody who's really trying with like the rings or whatever they're doing, and then Eric just sort of, comes up effortlessly flying up into the thing. So that was fine. But sometimes, especially if like a triad or something where you've got a couple of people on at the same time, it's quite hard to like, oh, is that so and so? Is that one? Is that one? So this has been really good because I start to kind of know you all individually. And now I'll be the one in the chat being like, "Oh, you said the wrong name. That's not the person." so looking forward to that.
You can ignore Dan.
I was literally crying. Sydney, you have a twin.
So literally when we had our wild camp before the season started and like we all like hung out, I was like, oh, we're all insane. This makes sense. It's going to be a great season.
We really are.
Yeah. I got a little bit concerned yesterday when I posted up like the timer thing for today, and I was like, okay, we've got this. And then the number that was saying, oh, these people are unhinged, this is going to be fun. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's lovely, Mia.
This will be interesting.
Way. Unhinged in the best way.
Yeah. It's good for me. I like it when people take over and I can sit back and just enjoy the chat. It's much less work for me. So that's always good. Speaking of work, speaking of Vegas, we have to talk about the burpees. So
yes. I feel like Vilma's kind of been the spearheader of this. We'll let Vilma get into it.
So basically, like we're competing at Mr. Olympia, right? So that's already like a very big stage. Everything is, the prices obviously come up, and to compete, it's very expensive. Most of us we have a full-time job and we compete, and most of us, or some of us, are in school or have other hobbies or things like that are very demanding. And so we want to get the team out there, so in a way that doesn't put a huge financial burden on them. Like, especially someone like, for myself, I don't have PTO. I own a gym. So if I'm not there, I'm paying a coach to coach my classes. I'm missing out on personal training. It's a big expense on us. And then as a coach, like, those things that we learn doing grit are so important because our athletes want to know about it, right? They're like, hey, teach me about this. Teach me about this. Oh my gosh, it was so great to see you out there. We get opportunities to work with people like Rumble Roller. So it's all win-win. But we needed to raise funds for Vegas, and we wanted to provide some type of value to that, which would be punishing your coaches by doing burpees. And so how it works is you have the option of donating to the entire team, to the entire girls team. So if you donate $10, one burpee gets done for each of the 10 that you give, and it's split amongst the team. Or if you have a vendetta against somebody, you can personally nominate them, and it's $2 per burpee with a minimum of a $25 or a $50 donation. So how it works,
25 burpees.
Yeah. 25 burpees. So like, so far, Sydney, where are you at right now? I think she's winning. I think she's like at
Sydney
like 200-300 burpees.
Mia texted me yesterday and was like, yeah, you have like almost 300 burpees. And I was like, no, it's 175. And then she starts reading names. And I was like, wait, what?
Dang.
Yeah. So like, basically how it's going to work. And I don't know if you'd like to be involved in this, Jason, but we have to live stream them at some point on the weekend of the 27th, 8th, and 9th, something like that. Let me check. Hold on.
That's Beach Brawl weekend. I just realized.
Extend it to the 30th? Yeah, I'll be in Colorado for a wedding.
Hold on.
That's okay. Do them at the wedding.
Yeah. So it's Friday the 27th, Saturday the 28th, and Sunday the 29th. So we will.
I'll be competing all 3 of those days at Beach Brawl, but I'll figure it out.
Just do it afterwards.
Yeah, just do it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it before, because that's not going to help.
That's okay. I'm pretty sure I have 0 personal burpees right now, so everybody loves me.
It just started. Okay. So like, there are other things that like we are doing as well. So a lot of us are holding different seminars. I know Tom is hosting a seminar, I think this weekend.
October 5th and 6th.
Okay. But there are other seminars and ways that you guys can get involved. But if you are so inclined, we would love it if you donated some burpees our way and helped us get to Vegas.
Would you love it, Sydney? Would you love more burpees?
I mean, hey.
Yeah. I'll take some burpees from Sydney.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting. I mean, is there, okay.
Can't you do curls instead? No, sir. I'm supposed to be doing 40 total if we're talking about mirror. So no, thank you.
Like her shirt says, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I'm just curious, are you being extra mean to the people at the gym these days just to try and encourage them to, because there's the like, it'd be really good if you could donate money. That would be nice. Or maybe you should just start like dishing out loads of punishment burpees for people.
So
and then they'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna get my own back on you. I found a way I could get you to do burpees.
I write the gym programming for my gym, and I'm already nervous. Like next week, we already have like a 25-minute chipper with like 50 burpees on Wednesday. And I'm kind of like, they're going to get me back for this. So I think like after that, there's going to be a very strong increase in the number of burpees being assigned. But, it goes to a good cause. And we chose this as an option because we wanted to provide some kind of entertainment in exchange for helping with supporting our team.
I mean, it's an interesting thing because I like that you've opened yourself up to have people just be like, do you know what?
So behind door
finally, it's revenge.
This door, there is a ton of guns. So we're avid hunters here in my household. Actually, I have a duck and a gun sitting right next to me. It's a mess, but you can see I have a duck and a AR-15. So there's a handful of hunting equipment back there.
We're
Jake.
gonna get taken down immediately. They're gonna end alive.
And this is like my junk room, so it's a disaster in here. But yes, that's what's behind room. Door number 2 is a whole assortment of hunting things. Get your guns out. Hell, I got my AR right
Another
here.
time,
Can you
Jake.
just flex, please? Can you just show us your biceps, please? Boom.
There you go. There's your guns.
Jake.
Jake's happy now, so that's fine.
Perfect. Glad I
Yeah.
can make your day. There you go.
So Amanda, is it that you are just too nice? Is that the problem? Why people aren't giving you burpees?
I really don't think any of my gym members would say that I'm too nice, but maybe I have to start being meaner. We'll see. I don't know.
Can you pull out like the utility player card and be like, oh, sorry guys, I've got that like a get out of jail free card where you can kind of divide the burpees to other people? Like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, maybe my little trump card.
Yeah. Okay. So Sydney's winning.
Hold on, though. I will say
Oh, here we go.
to that little caveat. No, hold on, please. So let me find a text message. I was told from my highest donor that I do not have to do burpees. Little text message right here. I don't have to do the 100. Just so you know, that was
All
the
right, so-
wishes of the donator.
I feel like they have to say that to be.
I feel like, yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
still do it. It's fine. It'll be fun.
Oh, you'll still do it. I'm pretty sure Vilma won't let you not do it. That's the impression. I'm getting.
Quiet? Is Amanda quiet at a party? No, she's not.
No, but
After
she's
our-
guessing people's 2 rep max
No,
deadlift.
she's not. After our match in Orlando, I'm sitting on the couch. In comes Amanda. All right, I got White Claws. Everybody want White
Oh yeah, I had
I was like, what?
armful
And then
of
she
just dropped.
takes a cup. She takes a cup. Amanda does not know this, but she takes a cup. She fills it up with vodka. And Griffin's wife is sitting right next to me. I pour the vodka inside of another cup and I put it underneath Jenna's chair and I said, don't move. I was terrified.
I still remember like the first time we all met. So let's like rewind because I'm curious to see everyone's first impressions. Sydney said I'm scary and I have crazy eyes.
You do. Yeah.
But we get to Atlanta, and I think the very first thing we did as a team is I think we went to the brewery.
Yeah.
And so here we are, like a lot of people do know each other, but like I was new, I know Sydney was new, and we're all just standing there at a brewery, like chilling out. And like at first I was like, I think everyone hates me. I really did. I don't think, Amanda, you said a single word to me that afternoon. But as we got to know each other, it was really fun. But apparently Sydney thought I had scary eyes.
Yeah. And that was before she saw your room of guns. So that's.
Well, no, she's been at my house before.
I had a great night's sleep in her guest room, dude.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It is amazing in there. So like in the other room, there's all kinds of well, I guess there's hunting stuff in there too. There's hunting stuff everywhere. We have ducks everywhere. Like my fiance is an avid hunter, so she kind of knew what she was getting.
I was like, are these real horns on the wall?
Yeah.
She ripped them off herself. Like that.
Well, Sydney gets mad when I send her pictures of my food and it's all like wild venison, which is like super protein dense. It's super good. We had cubed venison last night and it was amazing.
I need some of that.
Jake, what?
Who is this guy?
Maybe. Depends on who you ask, Jake. I think I do terrify people.
Augustus is here as well. Okay.
I guess that's a question for Brandonian.
You know, he might be here in a little bit. Brother Brandon can step in. He'll be here at noon. Brother Brandon. That's what Sydney calls him.
Right. Very good. So, right. What I'm picking up from the group here with what you've been saying before, and then also when I've heard your plans for it, when I've spoken to like the other teams, it's like, oh, you're looking forward to Vegas? It's like, yeah, Vegas is going to be great. Oh, we're going against this team on Saturday. We're going against this team on Sunday. Or, you know, we're like, oh, we're 2-0. So we're really looking forward to, you know, kind of, because that's going to be one of the things, isn't it? That the two of the teams are not going to be undefeated after this. So that'll be fun. And when I asked you, it was like, yeah, I guess we're going to do the match, but we're also going to karaoke. And that sort of seemed to be. And then obviously, because you knew this was being recorded and that you had to follow up with, but of course, the grid match is the priority. I mean, that's the first thing. But Vegas, that's sort of the impression I'm getting from the team.
Yes, accurate.
Okay.
And it'll be fun too. I know, like I can speak for myself, but I know I've talked to Sydney about it. The teams that we're facing, so it's my former team and her former team. So we're really excited to throw down. And yes, we still have friends on both teams.
Yes,
Like,
there's no bad blood.
Yeah, no
Oh, is
bad
there
blood. Like
none
we love
at all?
and respect them. Beat us.
I like the
doesn't-
idea of you saying sort of, we still have some friends on the teams and enemies, and then it's sort of like the
No, it's weird because we both noticed, because we have friends on other teams and stuff, that people like absolutely like actually have beef like in real life.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna have beef with someone in grid, and I know like my former team, a lot of people have asked me like, oh my god, like do certain people, and I'm never gonna say that in public. I mean, like they may know because they're my friends, but I'm never gonna like down someone. At the end of the day, like we're all doing a sport that has brought us together. And even if you don't like someone necessarily, you still have like a good memory with them, right? So I'm never gonna like down someone about that.
Yeah.
But we have
I
to
mean-
win.
but we
It's
have to
going to be a dub.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
like,
yeah, I think it's important. Like, yes, we're excited to have fun in Vegas, but like, especially after our last match, we have a pretty big fire lit under our asses because
Shoulder for
like we didn't get beat in our last match. We beat ourselves, and so I think it is important to say that we are ready to crush it on the grid. Like we're definitely coming in ready to play.
So define beat yourselves, because I did watch your last match, so I mean, actually, yours.
Do you agree?
So there were
You
a
didn't
few
watch
things
your
I didn't
match?
understand when I watched it, and after during these chats, certain things came out. Like when I was watching I think it was the very first race that you had the
partner forward.
pistol thrusters. Was that the first
Yeah.
race?
Mhm.
And like Griffin's just getting no rep, just
Mhm.
like, and I'm watching it with a kind of CrossFit breakdown of movement standards mentality, and I'm like, he's locked out, he's going below parallel. I can't work out why he keeps getting no repped. And then later, I think maybe it was Cassie, somebody was telling me about the like the arm being above or below the thing, and but I didn't know that at the time, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
I feel like I have to go back and rewatch the whole match to be, like saying, oh, okay, that's fine. Maybe they weren't as robbed as I thought on that race, but but maybe they were. I said maybe, Amanda. I said maybe.
No.
I
mean,
said
it's
maybe.
hard because I mean, we were getting faulted for things that were faults. It's not that we weren't. That's not like we were getting faulted for things we shouldn't have been faulted for. But there were other faults happening on a different part of the grid that weren't being called, which is what's the most frustrating about it.
Yeah.
But that race aside, we just had some execution errors in a few other races in the match that had we not had those, and so had we not had those execution errors, I won't say we would have won because you can't say that, like you never know what would happen, but if we didn't have those execution errors, I believe that the score would have been at least closer. Like we really did like not give our best performance on that day as a team. So we're excited to be better in Vegas.
Because we're an incredibly talented team, but a lot of us live in different places, and so like we have an amazing coach who goes through and like gives us the data, tells us what we need to do, is very communicative with what our roles are, and so from that perspective, like we have all the pieces. It just we didn't get an opportunity to showcase our strengths like we should have. I think certain things set the tone for the remainder of the match. And unfortunately, we can only control the things that we can control, right? And our headspace, I think, is where it could have been after, the first couple of elements of the race. So I do agree with Amanda. We've got a chip on our shoulder. I know that we have an amazing team that is capable of winning the entire thing. It's just going to be executing it in a way in Vegas that shows people like we are the real deal.
Right.
Yeah. So, because the interesting thing with like the grid matches is how close the score can stay anyway, right? So like generally speaking, and obviously bonus flags and the final race and things change it, but even if you have an absolute disaster on one of the races, that's only 2 points. they're getting
Right.
ahead, right? Compared to like, a CrossFit event where, you're at a podium contender and then you get a 40th place and now there's all these people between you, right? So
Yeah.
it does stick. But does there get to a point where you're just kind of not phoning it in, but it's like what has to happen that you start to almost let it get into your head that kind of like, oh, I don't know if we can get this back, or are you
I don't
able to
think
fight
that
the whole
ever
time?
runs through any of our heads.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of like, I think we almost got like kind of distracted and frustrated, I would think.
Right.
At least on my end, where it was like we were making silly mistakes that we normally would not make.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah, well,
go ahead,
go
Amanda.
ahead, Vilma. No, you go. You finish your thought.
I was going to say, like, a lot of us, we're still getting to know each other. Like, I blew it on the rope climbs. Like I said, like, I was coming back I didn't have a rig or a rope setup for 6 weeks. So, like, there's a lot of other little things in there that kind of factor into the execution not being where it could have been.
Yeah, and I think it's important, like in any match. So with grid, if you understand how the regular season works, like they're really point differential can determine whether or not you make it to the championship. So even if you're like, you know what, we can't win this match necessarily, but we can decrease the point differential. And at that point, sometimes it comes down to that. Like we're not going to win, but we have to try to lose by as little as possible,
Right.
because the point differential comes into play at the end. So like you can't ever just be like, oh, well, we're going to lose, I guess who cares anymore? Like, because that is super important. So you're giving 100% in every race, no matter what.
Which is something I think maybe gets overlooked, like with just the structure of how grid works, to kind of keep. So it's funny because quite often you hear, well, maybe you don't, but if you sort of talk to certain people within like the CrossFit space, you'll hear kind of strategies for scoring or things like this, because they're like, well, this would make it more exciting, because even if people are coming in, behind other people, it will sort of force them to keep pushing hard and not just say, oh, well, I can't, they're ahead of me, I can't catch them, so what's the point? And it's hard to build those kind of things in to CrossFit events without really complicated scoring systems where you've got to start, breaking down times and like all the Z scoring type thing. But and it's a similar thing with like, as incredible as it is with like what Matt Fraser was doing or Tier 2 does, when they come in and it's like, I've already won. The results of this do not matter because I've already won. It's quite hard to enjoy that to the same degree of like, okay, are they really trying? Or they don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah.
So the fact that the scoring is close, the fact that you've also got things like a bonus flag that you can chip away at maybe the lead that they've got if you think this is going to be a good event for you. And then, as you said, even if there's nothing you can do to win this match, you can still mitigate damage for down the line when, just make sure that you beat the next team even with an even bigger point spread and keep this one as low as possible. But again, that all kind of gets overlooked if you don't really look into how grid functions and you just are like, what are they doing? Oh, the movement standards here. Oh, this is all fast and no technique kind of thing. Like, so I quite enjoy
There's
these
a lot of
chats when you get those
intricacies to
bits.
grid.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, like, just even if you lost a race, just finishing it wins you points. I don't think people realize that.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't finish it under the time cap, you get a big fat 0. So, like, yes, there's incentive, as Amanda was saying, to actually finish the workout. And with the ringer points, I think there's a certain percentage in which you have
20%.
and so like you may earn points that way, or it's a big fat 0. So it's important, like, especially if people are not familiar with the sport, to realize like, yes, there is incentive to finish quickly so that we are still awarded something.
Yeah.
A prime example was the triad in the last match. Like, we had already lost the race, but we had 45 seconds to finish our burpees, and it's like, those are the fastest burpees we're ever going to burpee, squat, jump over BS's. I never know the actual name. We had to finish those, otherwise we would have gotten 0 points.
Right.
And so we gave everything we had left in that 45 seconds to get that 1 point. Because if we don't get that 1 point, we lose by 5 instead of 4. So it's just like,
So I got distracted by Daniel's comment here.
oh, Dan.
Why
Also,
gotta be
Jake,
fat
some of
shaming
us
Zero?
are grid
Zero has
athletes and
feelings too.
CrossFit athletes. So what are you saying?
That is true. Is that Jake's comment earlier?
Jake's comment
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
I feel like grid athletes, and with Jake's comment about us being sugar, spice, and all things nice, I do think that the team component makes us like friendlier with each other and other
I
athletes.
think it brings out different sides of people's personalities. Yeah.
Nothing against CrossFit athletes. I just feel like the fact that we're on a team makes the conversation and the connection a little bit different.
Yeah.
And Jake is a CrossFit athlete himself, so like he's talking about
I
himself.
couldn't
here anyway,
tell.
so just so don't
Jake
worry.
Chapman, CF.
Experience.
Yeah,
Does it stand for CrossFit?
yeah. Pretty sure it does. I want to be careful saying that because I always claim that the CF media thing doesn't stand for CrossFit. So that's I always go that my last name starts with a C. So I'm like, it's just Jason C. That's me. And then
Artur.
F could be fitness, and then media. Like, it could be anything. If you want to imagine it says CrossFit, that's absolutely fine. And I'm not going to stop
Thanks,
people.
Jake. We
You're
are
so much
friendly.
fun
Artur,
to
that's
listen
because
to.
you jumped completely over the box.
Isn't he like, how tall is Artur?
6'5".
6'7".
For real?
Oh, 5. I thought it was
Yeah.
higher.
I did meet him at camp, but I'm like 5'1".
No, he's really tall.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny because everyone always thinks I'm taller than I am. And then they meet me in real life and they're like,
I thought you were going to say everybody thinks I'm taller than Arthur, and I was going to say I don't think anybody
yeah.
thinks I'm taller than Arthur.
Ain't
But I
nobody
get
taller than
that
Arthur.
all the time. And then I go back to my Instagram and I'm like, oh, I don't post photos of me standing next to other people a lot. But
Clever.
I'm 5'2". Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 5'2".
I'm 5'2". A lot of people think I'm like 5'7". And then they're like, oh, you're tiny. Never mind.
Yeah.
How tall are you, Vilma?
5'1".
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say, y'all can't eat on me. I'm a baby. My fiance will say all the time, he's like, I forget how little you are. I'm like, bitch, don't remind me. I know I'm a little person.
Got like the total opposite, and I'm like 5'7".
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Hope.
Coach V, best coach
Aw.
ever. Such an inspiration.
Aw,
Thank
Amazing.
you. Thank
I believe that.
What's
I
this-
try.
what's
I
this saying
try.
here? Sorry, what's this? Builds character and also build. I'll be in my leg for nearly 2 weeks. But the worst thing of him injuring himself doing those things is that the first load were no reps anyway because he kept forgetting to
Like squat.
Squat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch that? We were there.
We did watch it. That's
You
I'm
did
like,
watch
hardcore.
Before we tried yelling at you, we were on the sidelines. We were there.
It's Briley. He only heard Briley yelling in his ear.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
I don't know if Briley, I still never messaged her, but like she had her butt in my face, like tooted up, and I grabbed it with both hands and she never moved.
We were literally like right in the front because
Yeah.
we do stay and watch like some of the matches, or we'll go back and watch them too. Like
We watch everyone. Yeah.
yeah,
Now, how do you watch them? When you say you watch them, are you watching them? So actually, Arthur's a great one to have on here because I didn't realize he's super analytical. Like
Yes,
he
he
watches
is.
the matches back and he is like, running times, understanding how, and I'm trying to think who he was saying. I can't remember I think he came on with Brielle and he was saying she was saying he'll like message her with like, oh, last year you did it in this, this amount of time. So you should be able to finish this with, are you the same when you watch the match? Are you watching the other teams thinking like, okay, we're going to go against them, next month. So let's see where are their strengths, where are their weaknesses, or are you just fans
for sure.
and you're just watching it like,
No.
we just want to enjoy it.
I'm definitely watching it like somewhat analytically, but I'm not going in there getting times or anything like that because that's
Dan.
what Dan does.
Dan.
Our coach does that for us, so we don't have to. So when we go back and watch a match, we can, maybe get some, like, not that it would necessarily matter for the next match because the formats are always different, but it can give you strategy ideas or like, oh, this person did this movement this way. But yeah, Daniel, I said Daniel because that's what his name is in the chat. Nobody calls him Daniel.
Daniel.
As he just said, Dan goes full autism on the stats.
These are
So-
spreadsheets. I literally asked Dan, I asked him about a ringer point He sends me not only last year's, but he said uno momento. I had spreadsheets immediately with everyone's times.
Yeah, we have Dan to do that for us, so we don't have to.
Yeah, which is super helpful. When we test stuff, like it allows us to like be able to focus on what we need to focus on and not overtrain in certain departments. So definitely,
he'll say we need everybody's mirror reps to be X number of seconds or faster.
And I think
because he has all of that data.
And I think too, watching now, like, because obviously this is only my second season, but there were so many switches, so many people that didn't come back or they went to other teams. And so, for instance, we're going against the brigade, right? And it's like, well, this is what they did in mirror or ladder or whatever last year, but it's like your girl was out there helping out with that. So it's like, it's cool to see them in real time to go, okay, this is what they're like this year. And also I like to troll people. Like,
okay,
Courtney,
but hold on, wait. We've got to pick up on this. So this is how fast they were last year, but I was there. It's good to see what they're doing this year and how much slower they are without me. Is that what I'm?
except for the thruster mirror against the Wild last
I can't flick you off. So okay, since we want to get into that, I always started off mirrors every single mirror last year, and the other Sydney always finished. Well, we get to wherever we're at. I don't even know where it was. I think Orlando, and they decide to switch us. So I don't know who started. Maybe it was Witter. And then they go, Sydney, you're finishing. I was never told you cannot drop the bar unless your other teammate drops it. So I'm like fourth quadrant, like I'm killing it. My teammate Aaron, and I give him crap about this all the time. He got no rep like three times.
Hold on. Pause. Hold on. We were like
a quadrant behind.
A half. You quarters of a quadrant behind.
You guys were a whole quadrant behind. I remember. You guys were a quadrant behind.
We were a couple reps in before you guys were.
Oh my god. Anyway,
I was there watching, and I was like,
Chris goes, hold, and I was like, am I not locking out? Oh, so I'd like go like this and then drop it like, fuck yeah, let's go. And everyone starts screaming. I'm confused of why everyone's screaming. We run back, we lose the race, whatever. So anyway, I told Aaron, had Aaron not gotten no rep 3 times, we would have finished at the same time. So by default, it is my fault. I do take responsibility. But
it's actually Aaron's fault.
Had he not gotten no rep, we would have been.
So ultimately, a hollow victory, Amanda. I hope you can live with that. Apparently,
and I congratulated them when I joined the team. I was like, "You're welcome for that mirror. You're welcome."
She did.
Yeah, accurate. Very accurate.
So with like the ringer races, then have you all got kind of? Is there something that you're hoping will come up in the season that you're like, oh, that's a good? Actually, before that, do you like doing the ringer? Like, is it like nice to be? You know, it's that thing of like, oh, you're so good, we're going to put you out as the best at doing this. But that's also like a lot of pressure when when it's a team sport and you've got a lot of people on your team, and now, you know, you can't blame Erin if you mess up a ringer because it's like it's all on you. So yeah,
I've never done one, but
okay, well, that might change in Vegas. We'll
probably. I mean, I'm preparing myself for it. It's a lot of pressure, but I think it's like that for every other part of the match. Like you have your role that you have to execute. So that part, I don't know. I can't speak to it. But these two, actually, Sydney, the first time I ever met Sydney, I was still playing for the Breakers, and it was a ringer point. It was 5 snatches at 150. And they were hyping up the girl on my team saying, oh, you got this. You're going to crush it. And Sydney gets out there, and I kid you not.
Muscle snatches them.
Bam. And we're all just like, oh, my God.
I laughed at Courtney, who's still on the brigade, because she's really sweet. I like Caitlin a lot. Really beautiful. Congratulations to just having her first. Is she still pregnant, actually? She's still pregnant. Yeah, but she's still kicking butt. And I remember, because I always make a joke about people wearing belts with snatches, but I just can't wear one because my torso is so tiny. So, and I get caught. But I saw Caitlin strap her belt up, and I looked at Courtney and I laughed. And he was like, I don't know what you were laughing for. And then I noticed like you were done. I was like, I know. I was excited because I definitely thought Taylor, if you watched the interview with Grid, And I'm like, yeah, like I'm faced off against Taylor because I thought that she was going to pick the 5 snatches at 150. So I was super excited for that.
But it didn't happen. Yeah.
There you go.
And I haven't done a ringer this year. I did one last year. I don't know if I like them. I mean, I compete individually in CrossFit, so I'm like used to being out there by myself, but there's definitely a higher pressure, especially when your coach comes up to you and says, "Should I throw the bonus flag?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, obviously I have confidence in myself that I'm going to win. And he did throw the bonus flag, I believe, on my ringer last year, and I did win.
What was
R.I.P. Fico.
the ringer that you did?
I did the 5 clusters for time at
Right.
Nice.
140, 135. I practiced it at 140, and I'm pretty sure it was 135 on the floor.
Right,
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But-
I have
but-
a love-hate relationship with ringers.
But it is different because you're saying like when you compete individually in CrossFit, it's sort of all on you, right? So the only person you're letting down is yourself, and maybe your coach or friends or whatever. But ultimately, it's yourself, right? It's your competition. You're on the leaderboard. It's not affecting anyone else other than people that are getting ahead of you or behind you or whatever. But here it is the pressure of like we've got the whole team that and as you said, it's not even like, okay, well, we lost that one, but that's fine because we can win it because all the points matter, as we've heard throughout the season.
Yeah.
All the points matter. So imagine you get to the end of the season and you're like, oh, we were behind by like that 1 point. It was that 1 point. It was that ring over,
Well, and I think
but no
that's
pressure for
important.
October.
Well, what's important to note is that like it doesn't just come down to one race. It's never going to be like, oh, if so and so would have won that ringer, we would have won. Like it never comes down to one singular race.
Yeah.
And if it does, it's the sprint relay at the end. So, and it's like at least for our team, like yes, it's pressure to do a ringer, but nobody is going to be mad at you if you lose a ringer point. As long as you go out there and you give it everything you got. We're very much like mistakes are going to happen. Like, yes, emotions got high in the last match because it was snowballing, but we had a really good conversation at the end too. Like we all just know how good everybody is on our team. And yeah, I feel like at least from a team perspective or teammate perspective, I feel like we really try to take that pressure off of the ringer points because it's already so high pressure. And if you have your team in your ear being like, you have to win this, like that's never going to go well for anybody. So if you just go out there and I mean, there's a reason we're putting you out there, right? So it's like, we obviously believe in you already. So
yeah. And Dan has all the data. So like, he'll be like, I think you might be good at this and this, go ahead and test it and run it. And so that's like really helpful because it kind of gives you targets. It's just, there's no room for error. Like, absolutely. But that's all of grid anyways. Like there's for error anywhere.
I like the idea that Dan's got so much data he can just go up to Mava and be like, look, to be honest with you, we don't really need to run the ringer because I've got the data here and it's very clear.
It would be a great one to
you'll
have.
do it at 5 in this speed. They're not going to even come close. So how about we just move on to the next race and
like the amount of time that man invests in preparing us as athletes and as a team is incredible. So like him and Mia would be a fun one. So Mia's actually in our chat right now. They are what keeps us together, and John, in terms of like giving us the data we need, helping us with getting sponsors and fundraising and things like that. But he would be a cool one to talk to because he's been, from what I understand, involved with the league since it was the NPPL stuff.
NPGL, yeah.
Yeah. So super, super, super knowledgeable. And then Jake, to answer your question, I am not Greek. I'm actually 100% Puerto Rican. I speak Spanish, but I do get that a lot. It's because I straighten my hair. So that or Italian. Sorry, I had to
I'm scrolling because I saw that comment come up and that was ages ago. So
I know. I was like, I gotta address it because everybody always thinks like I'm Italian or something else other than what I am, but I'm 100% Puerto Rican.
100%. Okay.
Hablo español y todo.
Well, there we go. Oh, we'll bring you on for the Spanish episode we'll do one day.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, so you can lose a ringer point. No one will get mad. You don't dance at line dancing. People get a little bit mad. I don't want to know what's going to happen if they refuse to sing at karaoke. It could be anarchy. That's how people get moved to different teams, apparently. So
yes, accurate.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Jake says his wife is Greek. That's why he's asking.
Ah, gotcha.
And I'll be honest with you, you're not the first guest he's said. Are you Greek? Are you part Greek or something?
His
like that?
wife is Greek. He's trying to find his wife's people.
Yeah,
trying
I looked at my notes that time, so you know.
Yeah.
Living
Okay.
in a lonely world, Dan.
Yeah. Mr. Spreadsheets. Okay, that's good to know. I wonder if he'll ever give me access to the data, and then I'll know
Top
everything.
secret. Absolutely not.
Top secret. You've been showing us spreadsheets on your phone earlier. Top secret.
Take a screenshot, guys.
There's multiple pages to the spreadsheet. It literally has pages and pages, and then there's lineup A, B, C, tentative, this, that.
He has 27 lineups per match.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like the idea that you also it's probably all got like the fake names on there. They're not even your real names. It's all in code. Nobody can understand it. It's like, what if the other team get hold of this?
Sidney Witter.
Yes, Sidney Witter. Exactly. That's why people are getting your names wrong on the call. It's because he's put out false information.
He's Mr. Spread Your Sheets guy. Oh my God.
Don't encourage it, Jake.
Oh, we're gonna hear about this for the next month.
Right.
He's gonna show up with a shirt
or sword.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he'll get that print. Okay. Oh, look at this. I'd be happy to show it. I just need to put it in a comprehensive manner. I think what he's saying is I wouldn't understand it. It'd just be
Probably
too
not.
complicated
I don't
for
think
me.
any of us would understand his full spreadsheets.
Yeah. He's already worked out who's won the season. He's like, I've done it. I've run the numbers. I've got it. Yeah. Yeah, I won't make him that show. So I just got to ask. So is Dan? He's running on spreadsheets, but so how many people are like at the matches that are not like on the field of play, kind of in the team, but like you've obviously got the coach there, who
3
cannot touch you during the race. I've understood that rule very clearly. So no pushing you down the line. But sort of how much of a kind of support team do you have with you at the matches? Like or is it's all kind of pre-match?
3, yeah.
We have 3. So we have Dan, he's our coach. We have Mia, she's the owner, and then we have Jonathan, who's like the manager. And like Mia takes on a lot of management role, like along with Jonathan.
Right.
But yeah, so Mia, Dan, and Jonathan are our 3 non-player on the grid support.
So they're actually down there with you on the because it looks really packed at the end. Like
it is.
It's because we all have a lot of mass.
I was gonna say it's all the guns.
Oh my God.
No, it is, but there's the space behind the curtain too. But yeah, it's packed back there because there's like 20 plus people sitting at the start line.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, do those people also get invited to the karaoke and the line dancing, or is it saying if you've
I've
not
been inviting teams from other people from other teams to karaoke.
Really?
What?
Yeah, dude. United Grid League at karaoke.
Yeah. But like there's a lot of people, and like we all know each other somehow, some way, so it's pretty interconnected. And sometimes you'll see people warming up, and they'll come by or say hi at the end of the match. So
I like to force my friendship upon people.
Dan, we're calling it recruitment.
No, Ruby.
Yeah. Kidding.
We didn't invite you.
Oh,
just kidding.
Wow.
We actually don't have we don't have a location yet. More details to come.
Yeah. I did find locations. Remember, I found a sushi place that has karaoke.
Ruby, absolutely not.
No, actually, Ruby, you're right. So Ruby's saying we need to have media at karaoke. I'm wondering, like, do you guys put together any of this kind of behind the scenes grid stuff? Because it sounds like you're having a lot of fun before and after these events.
Our team would get canceled if we actually put what we say and do online.
That was Mia's fear this morning of us coming on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm applying. I'm applying for dental school next fall. So there are things I will not say or do on the internet.
Right.
For me, I'm like me. So whatever, what you see is what you get. Hence why I showed you my AR-15 and my duck on the table. So at this point, but we did have.
You're right, Dan. We don't talk about Fight Club. Yeah,
we don't. And then the other thing too is we did have media come out once. Be Friendly Fitness.
Scared them away. Oh, actually, I saw that. Yeah, Brian was there.
Yeah, Brian Friend came out.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a really unhinged. The amount of editing that man did that was a very unhinged
Yeah.
that year. So, or
Well,
that,
we actually are going to have media with us out at Vegas from one of our new partnership sponsors, MRI Performance. They're sending out an individual to go to Vegas with us and get media, at least for On the Grid. But I'm pretty sure he's still going to be there Saturday, and we're going to invite him out to karaoke. So if he decides to get some clips, he might get them.
But
We
that's
don't know.
like that's the best stuff. That's
Yeah.
always the best stuff. Like as you know, a thruster is a thruster. A pull-up's a pull-up. Like it's impressive. It's good. You know, it's wonderful. But
Yeah.
it's all the stuff that like shows you the athletes behind the scenes. When I mean, like the
Right.
behind the scenes series that Savan did at the games, you know, was something like the best content because you just got to see the athletes a bit more human. And it's like, oh, this is great. So
Yeah.
I'm always like, that's my favorite thing to see from any kind of competition or sport in general. I just like to see, you know, and especially when big stuff happens, because you know you get to see people when things go really well. You get to see people, you know, when things go really badly. You get to
Yeah.
see, you know, Sydney beating people up. It's amazing. There's so much incredible stuff.
Me?
Well, I've heard you're dangerous if people approach you. So
No, more than likely, I think Amanda would be the first one. She's really intense. She's really intense. I'm not
loving
awake
Spider-Man.
until we get
I
to
mean,
like
somebody
ladder.
messes with my people, I'll do what I gotta do, but I'm not instigating anything.
So I'm just trying to quickly catch up on all the comments that have come on. You know what?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's just Dan and Arthur going back and forth.
Yeah, I would agree. I think about our the behind the scenes. There's some things that don't need to see the light of day.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's just some things like we're cool to
But
hang
there's
out
some
with.
things that could. We're
Yeah.
a goofy
You know,
bunch.
you know, people
We're
don't just
not
like
PG.
film the whole thing and then upload it, right? Like they can
Yeah.
edit
Right.
the
Yeah.
video.
I just thought it was
Why
super
did
funny. I thought it was funny during the interview when I said, "Oh, if you come up to one, if you like listen on one of our conversations," and then there's like an insert of Blake like screaming at Casey, and guaranteed it was something unhinged. Knowing Blake, it was something unhinged for sure.
Yeah.
Blake called me a bad bitch after something. I think it was like the push press, and I was like, "Blake, am I? Oh my goodness!"
Blake just started following me on social media the other day. And so we're fighting. He followed me and I messaged him and I'm like, "You just started following me?" And he's like, bro, I'm sorry. I just saw this. I was like, "Nope, we're fighting. It's your fault. Better come with an apology in Vegas." You
I
see
love
this, Blake? I
Me and Blake have
deserve
the
an
same
apology.
birthday, so
Wow.
that makes sense.
Do you really?
We do. Or both of our birthdays are April 21st. I put that
Aw,
on the
fun.
mirror thing, and he goes, "Oh my God, to be really?" And I'm like, "Okay, Blake."
Almost 420. But
Apparently,
not
Blake
quite.
doesn't know how to use social media. That's
My
the
mom's birthday is actually
Clearly
420.
not. You know what, Mia? He had messaged me. We chatted on social media. We chatted on Instagram chat, Mia. He knew.
Blake, I know I've
He
made
knows
it when
how to
Blake
do
likes
that.
my stories. I'm like, "Oh, Blake liked my story. Yay, I did something good."
That's who I am.
Well,
That's
I was
the litmus test right there.
we've got a new like an intern coach that I was trying to find on Instagram. I was like, I couldn't remember their name, and I was like, I need to find. So I went to the Instagram of the box, and I was like searching the people that they follow because I was thinking, well, surely they will have followed him, and then I'll find him. And then I discovered they don't follow me anymore, but they used to follow me, so they've unfollowed me.
Great.
Drama.
And yeah, and I was like, wow, that's. And then I was looking at who they do follow. I'm like, there are members that have left the box like 2, 3, 4 years ago, and you're still following them.
Huh.
And
Did you
then
go to the gym and drop
Did
the
you follow
dumbbell or
now?
something?
no, I will. When I so I also do like a podcast for the box. Like this is the worst. This is the worst bit. Is that I do the CrossFit Bath podcast as well for them.
Maybe it
So
was an accident.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's very good of
Keep
you,
us
Sydney, to
updated.
feel that way.
You just
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Mess with my people.
Yeah, I'll be like, hold on, I need to send Amanda over. Can you get over to
Yeah.
England easily enough? I don't know. Is that going to be trouble?
Let me
It's
update
for
my
a really good
passport real
cause.
quick.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get over to Vegas and see you all there, but unfortunately,
Come
that's
on.
also kind of out of my budget at the moment. But that would be
Feel that, brother.
one day. That's like a stretch goal. Let's see if
Yeah,
I
I'll
can
feel
ever get
that.
there.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed getting to know some of the incredible women from the Atlanta Wild. But I know you've got more on your team, so I'll have to get them. And I guess some of the guys who can't be bothered to do burpees, we'll get some of them on as well. But
Yeah, I can't be bothered.
They're just gonna
Yeah.
stand there with their hands in the diamond formation. Just prepare yourself.
When you see that, you know the wild means
You're in
business.
shit.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When are you pulling that out? Is that like mid? Is that going to be like? Should I be watching during a match and then be like, oh, they look like
You
they're
actually
and then
should watch
suddenly
during a match.
see it happen and be like, oh, something's about to happen. Is
I
that
think
kind
you
of
should-
the?
You should actually, because I would be curious if you watch in Vegas, just keep an eye out, see how many times people do this. Keep a tally. I'd actually be really curious because it just happens.
Mainly just watch
Mainly
Griffin.
Griffin.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this photo of Griffin. So like I was watching a video that Grid posted of me, and then I see Griffin in the back, just like so unimpressed. Can you see that?
And
I think
diamond formation.
Griffin was sad because he didn't get to participate in that match. I think that's what Griffin was feeling.
He's just like, hurry up, Sydney. The bar is not that heavy. Keep going.
No, it's because you threw the jump rope.
No, that was my push press ladder.
But maybe we'll incorporate it into the dance. Who knows?
Oh, I forgot about the flash
There
mob
might
thing
be
that's
that.
happening as well. Yeah,
flash
okay.
mob.
Yeah. So it would be great if like we just all circle Griffin and he just, at the end.
We could pick Griffin up. How much do you think Griffin weighs? Like 220, 230?
Do you think is he a good dancer?
That's a good
Griffin?
question. He did
Because
not.
that would be amazing if you like all circled him and then you were all doing that
probably
and then
would be.
suddenly he just like
I
puts
don't
on an
know.
absolute
I could
show.
see Griffin being a good dancer for sure.
When we were line dancing, Tom was in there doing the wobble with us.
I saw that.
I was like,
I
this
don't
is
see
the best.
Griffin being a good dancer.
I do. I actually do. I don't know why. I have faith in Griffin.
We can find out. Like,
Yeah. Oh, Jake, he's going to lose you on this last comment that he's put up. Flash mobs were the
He
worst.
said "were the worst." So
Pre
That's
when
past
Grid
tense.
brought them back.
yeah, pre the Atlanta Wild bringing him back.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't call it a comeback.
No. It would be also good if you could just
Hope
like
Dan's not
break,
still
just
listening.
do it when other teams are competing and it's not even you.
Oh,
Just
God,
start
could you
dancing on the
imagine?
sidelines during every other match.
Yeah.
during the
That'd be
ringer point, just
amazing.
distracting everybody.
Oh,
At the
during
finish line.
during the ringer point would be good because that's probably when there's the most space like on the actual grid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
it,
true.
it makes sense. And you're in Vegas. You got to put on a show, right? That's what
Come
it's all
on.
about. So yeah, I'm sure Mava will be absolutely fine with this. There'll be no comeback. Yeah,
For
Ruby,
sure.
just
Can
just
teams
remind
get
them, just let
fined?
them know.
Hey, Ruby,
Better to
do you guys
ask
find
forgiveness
time?
than permission.
Yeah. Do you guys find teams?
Do you find teams? Is that the
Yeah,
question?
Mia would kill us.
Yeah,
if
you
we
know,
got
like
us a fine.
football players can get fined for like
Yeah.
over celebration and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's another one. We need celebration like end zone dances.
We've talked about it so many times. Like we talked about it all the time last year. And I think we just always are so in the moment and in like the fact, because you guys know the matches, every race is just like so intense. And so like when you win it, like that's all you're thinking about. Like I think we always just kind of forget nothing in the rule book against flash mobs, guys.
That feels almost like kind of the line from one of those films where they're like, "There's nothing in the rule book that says a dog can't play basketball," and then you're like, "Oh, well, I guess they can do it." And you think, "Oh, I don't know." So there you go. But surely there is a rule about you not being allowed to step on the grid when another team.
Right.
Alexa just kicked off.
But yeah, no, I guess you guys will have to tune in and watch when we're in Vegas to see if there's a flash mob / celebration dance.
End zone celebration.
If there's like some diamond formation, maybe there might be karaoke. You can give us all a follow and see if maybe we post what we do out in Vegas. I know Sydney's going to be singing at the Creed concert next weekend, so that'll be fun.
Could you do something with diamond formation like I think the other week when Cassie was saying about like sports movies, that she loved watching sports movies growing up, and maybe it was Jake that brought up the Mighty Ducks, but like they did like the flying V. Could you just do like a flying diamond, somehow incorporate it into
That'd be cool.
into your match? There you go. All right, well, I'll find out why my electric keeps messing up. I think it's because we've got them in other rooms in the house, and because we started recording at 3:30, my kids were out, but they're now back. So probably someone's asked a question downstairs on one of them, but it's decided to give the answer up here. So that'll be what's happened, I assume. Who knows? Anyway, Hope says hopefully, no pun intended.
Oh, because her name's Hope. Good one, Arthur.
There you go. That's why he's, a superstar. So, my final question I was going to ask then, do you have, like, if you were going to celebrate in the end zone, like, you cross the line, apart from the diamond, what would be, like, have you got a move? Is there something that you'd be like, that would be my celebration?
I mean, I think all three of us played team sports. So, like, like the traditional, like, casting the thing and like reeling in the person.
Right.
I'm sure we've all done something like that at some point in time, but we have not designated any routines at the end. I will say, though, last match when I hit the last bar running to those two, that was like my favorite grid moment ever.
Yeah, it was probably one of my
awesome.
top 3 too. I'm pretty sure, like, had they gotten footage of me, I was like 6 feet in the air. Because like I was still like tired, and I look up and I see like you standing up from the squat, and I was like, ah!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you being 6 foot in the air is now more impressive to all of us because we've understood you're not as tall as we all thought. So that's even further than we imagined.
I've got a good vertical.
Yeah. I think that's going to be one of the things I take away from this. So it's like there's lots of stuff I was expecting. I was expecting the unhinged nature because I'd been warned. I was expecting a good fun chat. I wasn't shocked by most of them. The biggest shock was, Sydney's not a giant. Okay. No, I didn't think you were a giant, I'll be honest, but you're, I don't know why. Why do people think you're taller?
I think it's my proportions. Like, I have really long arms and legs. And again, like, because I am so short, I always record from like the bottom, and I don't post photos with anybody, like standing next to them a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I'm gonna have to start scrolling. I'm gonna scroll back now through your. I'm trying to find you.
Oh no,
standing
you
next
don't
to
have to
somebody.
do that. You don't
Like,
have to
who's she standing next
Don't
to?
scroll too far.
And then you get like AI tools to kind of like be like, how tall is this person? Then how tall is that person? How tall is the rig behind her? And then you sort of like do all that maths to try and work out. Oh, okay, now we know. I didn't even get to ask you any questions about the bodybuilding.
Oh no, that's
shows
fine.
and stuff.
That's fine. It's a totally different.
That's a totally different thing.
I will say, I'm pretty sure I was the shortest person to do the wall balls in sprint relay.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, me and Sydney Witter were the only 2 girls to do it. And every single one was like a 5-foot jump.
Yeah. Because that was a 30-pound wall ball also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a 10-foot target? Or am I like making stuff up? Yeah.
Well, and she's warming it up on the grid. We get there and she's like chucking this thing to the top of the target. And I walk over there. I'm like, Sydney, stop doing so much work. And then in the things, you still were throwing it to like the middle of the target.
It's CrossFit, man.
Yeah. And if you're throwing it a little bit high, you're not going to miss, right? Better to do it that way. You don't want one of those costly no reps.
Yeah.
Ask Griffin, he knows. So that's hey, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
Well, it was his fault.
It was his fault. Okay.
His shoulder. I will say, it's not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm the only one who got 0 no reps on that partner forward on our team.
Well, there you go. But if people go back, watch the live chat, and you'll see I'm in there. I'm there going, I don't know what's going on. Why is he getting no rep? It doesn't make sense. He's locking out. He's going. So I was behind him all the way.
Yes, Jake.
Yeah.
Also not, because these are brown and cheetah print.
But I do think, like, from the spectator point of view, like, knowing what the standards are, because sometimes, like, that a lot of people say, like, I didn't know why you got no reps, like or why your team was getting no reps. Like, that part, that would be a fun one to talk about. It's like the standards and the training and how it's different.
Well, in defense of the wonderful commentary team, because I know I'll never make it to grid and be on a team, but maybe one day I could get there and I could work with those guys on the media. That would be nice. But they actually do a fantastic job of like explaining stuff that happens, like that thing of like coaches not being allowed to kind of physically touch a player and move them on. That happened in one match, and then it kind of cut back and after the race, and they were saying, oh, the reason this is happening is because like, at the last match, something happened. So they made a new rule, and that is the rule. And this is the infraction. And this is why. So you always are kind of kept, so they do a great job explaining all the races before they happen, which I always think is really nice. But then when
Yeah.
weird stuff does happen,
Mhm.
even sometimes they don't know. They're like, "Oh, we're not really sure what's happened, but we'll find out," and then they report it back to you.
Cool.
And I really appreciate being kept in the loop, because that's again
Yeah.
one of kind of the things that really frustrates me when I watch other live streams at times. Is I'm like, I don't, what's happened. Something's happened, but you're not telling me what's
Yeah.
happened. And then it will go,
Mhm.
and like you might wait a day, and then somebody kind of third party will come out with, this is what happened, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
Well,
So
I always tell people, like, if you want to learn about grid, because everyone's like, what's grid? And it's so hard to explain because there's so many intricacies with the rules, with like everything. A really great way to learn about grid is to go back and watch matches or watch the live stream, because they explain every single race beforehand. And then, like you said, they do all of that. So if you just come and watch grid in person, which is also super fun because it's super high intensity, but I feel like if you have no idea what you're watching, you're just like, I have no idea what I'm watching. And like, you don't get that explanation live. So definitely, if you want to learn more about it, just go back and watch, especially this season's matches, because the live stream with the split screen and everything. And was it last year they just started doing they explained the race beforehand?
yeah, I think last year they started having like the graphics that would come up before
Yeah.
the race, and it would be like, this is a triad, and and this is it, and it would sort of, and then they usually have two graphics. One would be the kind of the race, because that's always the same, as in like, this is how this type of race works.
Yeah.
And then a follow-up graphic would be, and these are the particular movements being used this time, and these are the weights, and they kind of have it, for the people in the chat that love spreadsheets, they kind of have it almost in that form where it's sort of divided quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you see the weights. And sometimes it'll be like a handstand walk, so it will be across multiple quadrants and things like that. And then this year they brought in the like rep counter, which is really good. So they've got that on, and the side, the split screen sort of thing. So
yeah,
Lots
that's
of
been
good
a cool
stuff, yeah.
addition.
it's a really pleasant viewing experience, I think, like as as much as it can be. So they've done a good job. Well done, grid team. Well done.
Kudos.
I'm gonna have to let you guys go. I have to go coach noon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sydney. We've really.
Hold your tongues while I'm not on this. I will be rewatching to see if you guys say anything crazy.
I'm gonna say all the crazy and hinge stuff in the group chat. It's over.
Mia, keep me updated. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Nice
guys.
to meet you,
Sid.
Jason.
Lovely to meet you. We'll come back on in the field. Oh, she ran like that. Oh,
She gone.
yeah,
She's
she's on
already
one.
a
Coming
minute
about
late to
20
coach her
minutes.
class.
Is she a minute late to coach? Yeah.
Yeah.
But in fairness, some of her people came in onto the show as well. So that's like a
true.
minute
That's
that
true.
we should get back. Sorry, hold on. Amanda, don't feel bad about Blake not following you. Briley just started following me like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well, this was like 2 days ago, Arthur.
Okay. I never know with Jake. I never know if I want to read his questions or just.
Who is Jake? Jake, who are you?
Yeah, Jake, who are you?
Who are you?
Tell us more about Jake.
You've been very
This turned into a Jake podcast.
Yeah, and I don't think Jake's on Instagram either. Because when we had Brooklyn Sitner, the who was heading off to the teen CrossFit Games, I mentioned her dad. I was saying about, actually, like, also your dad's, a pretty fit individual. I've seen him on Instagram, like kind of the stuff he's doing. And Jake was like, oh, we need a picture. I said, just go on Instagram and you'll find him. And I think Jake said, oh, I'm not on Instagram. I'm a grown up or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh,
Have you ever?
Jake says he's a nobody. Oh, Jake, don't say that.
Have you? Listen, the comic relief in the comments has been wonderful.
Yeah,
it has been awesome.
I know Jake talks about Rogue a lot. He goes on about this tent that he's got that he's trying to fill with people for Rogue. But Jake, you're actually going to be at Rogue, right? In which case, I will meet him, or finally meet him in person.
I'll not be going to Rogue.
You will not be going.
My
to
dog's tail. This is my dog's tail.
That's good. We're bringing the ratio up because we've had quite a few cats on recently, so it's good to get some.
Bring her over, Zara. Come here. Come here.
You are out.
Come show your face.
I'm scared. I don't even know what they're doing.
Baby.
Wow.
This is my angel.
Who you said you just taken out for a walk before coming on the show?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just to go out to the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah. Now Zero went to work today, and
Yeah.
my old lady, she's 16, so she doesn't get to go to work. But Zero is out there doing his thing. He's our logo for the gym, so a lot of people
Is your
know
logo for the gym?
he is.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, I was going to let you all go, but then Sydney left. So, what do you want to say about Sydney while she's not here?
We love Sydney. There's literally nothing bad to say. She's
Okay.
a great friend, great teammate. She is the most unhinged out of all of us. She makes us laugh every day. Like, Sydney's the best.
Yeah. No, she is really wonderful. It's funny. I feel like sometimes it's a little isolating, like when you coach all the time and then like you're training all the time, and it's hard when like you have friends and they understand, but they don't understand like to the degree like, hey, I want to hang out with you. Let's go to this concert or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get drunk. Like, I really want to have a good time and relax and like take care of my body. It's nice having friends that are of the same bandwidth and understand what that's like. And so I really appreciate her friendship, and I'm sure she's going to call me in the neck when she's done coaching. So
Yeah, for sure.
it is literally, sometimes it's like a, hey, like I want to talk. And sometimes I'll get like the message that says SOS and I'm like, okay, I gotta call her back.
Yeah.
But
Do you have to like cancel everything else? You're like, right.
Yeah.
Shut it all down.
Yeah. Sometimes like she'll FaceTime me because she is notorious for FaceTiming. And actually,
Right,
David, I have a funny story about concerts. And this is why I actually mentioned not getting crazy at concerts. But she'll FaceTime me when I'm coaching and I'll turn it on and she'll say hi to all my clients. So she's a really nice person. We actually have her coming down the concert and then she's going to come teach a class at my gym. So we're really lucky to get her to come out and do that for us. How do you like, some gummies? I do like the, oh, my dog's mad. He says, Mom, let me in there. But I did like 3 or all 4 quarterfinal workouts one year right before Reggae Rise Up. I will never do that again. I will say the gummies do help with relaxing, but that's more for sleep. I actually will have maybe a glass of wine a week.
You allow yourself a glass of wine. Oh.
Wine or a margarita?
Here I was. Wine or margaritas?
One of the two.
One of the two. But no, like I straight up like Reggae Rise Up. I remember telling Brandon, I was like, I'm walking this way because my legs were sore, but I was stumbling because I probably had about 20 drinks that day. Never doing that again. So concerts and alcohol, no way.
Be careful. That L3 might turn into an L2 by the end of this conversation.
I know. I behave myself now. That was many moons ago.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Hold on. Chat's kicking off again.
Oh, you know what? I do not have had a shot of Jack before a ladder, but I have tried smelling salts, and I do like that. It does help.
Oh, you went smelling salts before doing the ladder?
I have done them before, yes.
I haven't done that.
No. Okay. All right. Very good. Wonderful.
David's upset because his girlfriend is our team's girlfriend. That's what that's about.
Yeah. It's true. I'm like, there's so much context to have to explain.
So much
I don't know if we can go there. And also, my dog's getting mad, so I should let him in before he.
Okay, we'll say hello to the dog. Oh, here he is.
Hello. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Come on, puppy. Well, you came in here. This is Zero.
Hi, Zero.
Hello, Zero.
He says hi. Hi, Mom. All right, that's it. Mom's good. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Very good.
He's been trying to get off this call this whole time.
What?
He's like, I tried to get off this 27 minutes ago.
No, it's fine. I mean, you know that as soon door number 1, yes. Jake's happy, so we've seen now behind door number 1 and door number 2.
There we go.
Yes.
No, I mean, as soon as this finishes, I will finally upload the video that I was meant to have uploaded before we did this. So if you're still watching this, which, some of you are, which is impressive, and you happen to know anyone in Europe that thinks they're competing at the European Championships in London this month, make sure they go and watch the video, or just tell them you're not, because it's not happening. So, but make sure you tell them that before they get on the plane. That's my one wish. All the best in Vegas.
Thank you.
But I mean, before you get to Vegas, we've got, this death by burpees thing first of all. So that's going to be amazing. So if anyone, if you're still watching this or you're watching it after the fact and you think, oh, those people, they were so cool, they were so wonderful, such a fun chat, I'd really like to make them suffer, you can donate money to make them do loads and loads of burpees.
Make us do burpees.
And
$1
they'll thank
burpees.
you for it. That's the
We
crazy
will.
And they will be recorded and live streamed. So like we will be doing them all.
Yeah.
If that's your concern, is honesty.
So in this is a tiny little story. Then I will go. But when like the lockdown was kicking off in the UK, back in 2019 or whenever it was, we were a little group of us that would do the 8 p.m. class usually. We were like, we'll do 100 burpees a day for the that first month. And I would make sure, and the thing is that we had to like send kind of evidence every time. So my thing would be to get up early in the morning and do the 100 burpees and then like send that in, because there was something like, it was horrible to do it every day, but man, there was something good about knowing that everyone else still had to do the burpees and you didn't. So that was my
I like that.
Yeah. Lockdown, I did a lot of burpees during lockdown. We did that.
Yeah.
I did we did 500 in a weighted vest, and then I did 1,000 burpees on like a Zoom call with, there was someone else that was from our gym, but they were now in like Abu Dhabi, where the gyms were still open. So they were like zooming in from their gym. There were a couple of us in different parts sort of around here, just got in this big group thing and just knocked out 1,000 burpees. And guess how much money we raised? None, because we didn't think about doing something like that. We just decided we would do that. So can I donate for hammer curls instead? Seems funny for everyone involved.
Jake, if that's what gets you to donate, sure, put a note in. We'll do hammer curls instead.
Yes. Arthur, take a picture with Sid next match and send it to us. Very good. He's my new metric for height.
He just wants to come to karaoke. That's why.
He does.
Arthur, I don't know if you got the invite yet. We have to make sure you're cool.
Yeah, make sure you're on the list, Arthur.
Cool. No, he's very cool.
He's cool.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jake's gonna donate hammer curls.
All right, cool beans.
Right.
Do you need a link, Jake?
Yeah. Do you need the link?
Oh, can you send me?
Do you need the link, Jason?
I can put the link. I'll put the link in the description of this as well. So
okay, I'll forward it.
Find it. So yeah. So there's a link, everybody.
Yes, there's a link and a web page
down there.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this later as a audio podcast, it's also in the description there somewhere. So
hold on, I'm getting
find
the
that
link right now. Someone just said link, please.
It's Jake again.
I'm sorry, I just saw it. All right. And then you can actually, from our page, you can see everyone who's going to be doing the burpees. So
we didn't even talk about that reel that went up today, where you all introduce yourselves.
Yes.
What a shame that Sydney's not on the call anymore. Because you guys are very kind of you're like Vilma Rosario, utility player number 23, and it's like, okay, that's right. And I think Amanda, you're the same. I think you give your name, your
name, number. Oh, bye, Vilma.
I think she tried to send the link and she's hit the wrong thing. Anyway,
well, it's funny because Sydney sent it into the group chat and said, and her caption with like her comment with it was, "Everyone looks directly into the camera, name and number. Me, hi, I'm Sydney." She's like, "Why am I like this?"
I just messed that up. I tried to leave and then here's a link. I will accidentally break it, so I will send it to you in the private chat.
We're like, bye,
okay.
Vilma.
So Jake, I did send it directly to Jason, and I clearly don't know how to use StreamYard. So
there you go, everybody.
Hey,
the link.
Thanks, Jason.
I don't know if you can you click on that? Can somebody just test? I can't click on it here because if I click on the thing, it just comes up show. Yeah. I copied and pasted. Okay, I think it's working. That's good. Just no, because when I click on things, it pulls it up. So if I click anything, it will come up like that. So I can't actually kind of select the stuff individually. Got it there. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. What a note to finish on. Yeah, but it wasn't only Sydney. There was someone else, I think, that did a similar, just their name within like you know, a few seconds of sort of
Oh, is that
and
Lexi
then
at
it
the
went.
end, or
Maybe,
yeah?
yeah. But yes, that was oh, it's a shame she's not on, because when we got
Yeah,
that,
I know.
I was
I was
putting
I
it
can't even
together
imagine.
and I was like, oh my God, I'm just gonna let this happen.
Yeah.
But like I almost texted her, I was like, I'm just gonna let it happen.
You know what? She sent the video. Just take
Yep.
it.
Wilma, if it was me, what I would have done is I would have put it in multiple times. I would have had like 2 people be like, "I'm on the CrossFit level 3, you know,
I would really
utility
love
player 23, then Amanda." Now someone's at my door.
Oh,
I should
no.
probably go.
That's so funny.
Someone's at the front door, everybody.
All right.
So
Well,
I'm going to have to go.
for you anymore.
Can I get a signed photo of Arthur? Jake. All right.
We'll let you take that
wonderful.
up with Arthur. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much
So,
for having us, Jason.
Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you,
Thank you.
Amanda. Thank you, Vilma. I can't tell you who's on next week because I haven't finalized all of that yet. But as I said, hopefully within the next hour, there will be a video up on YouTube that I would also appreciate if people liked, and more importantly, shared with potential athletes that might be traveling. And I'm a bit worried about that. So thank you, everybody. And I guess we'll see you all soon. I don't know. And
All right.